Has your job ever gotten in the way of doing the right thing? I had been a guidance counselor for over 10 years, long enough to know when something wasn't right and how fast things could go sideways if I made the wrong call, especially with the history I had. Years ago, I'd tried to help a student in a tough spot. I meant well, but I got too involved, too fast. The district nearly fired me. That close call stuck with me, made me build walls and follow the rules to the letter ever since. But then there was Elijah. He was 16, sharp as hell, quiet, but focused. One of those kids you don't worry about because they've got their head on straight. At least he did, until he didn't. I started noticing small things. He stopped eating lunch, started drifting off in class, wore long sleeves even when it was hot out. I didn't want to assume anything, but I'd seen enough to know those weren't just bad habits. During one of our scheduled check-ins, I saw bruises on his wrist. He saw me looking and yanked his sleeve down like it was instinct. Said he banged it playing basketball. I nodded, but it didn't sit right. I'd seen a lot of bad lies in my time. That was one of them. I tried to keep it casual the next week, watching him closer. The big red flag came when I mentioned a parent-teacher conference and he froze. His face just dropped. He didn't say anything at first, just nodded, but he looked like someone had yanked the floor out from under him. At the conference, I met his stepmom, Diane. Perfect makeup, fake warm smile, saying all the right things. His dad, Thomas, barely spoke, just stared at the table. The whole thing felt like a performance. Elijah didn't say a word. A few days later, he stopped coming to school. When he came back, he was limping. He said he fell. That was when I asked him to stay after class. Alone in my office, he finally cracked. Not all at once, but enough. He said Diane had been hitting him for years, that she'd scream, throw things, that his dad knew and just stayed quiet, like none of it mattered. I followed procedure. I had to. I reported it to CPS and looped in the principal, Grayson. I expected concern. What I got was hesitation. Grayson pulled me aside and said we needed to tread carefully. You remember what happened last time? He said, meaning my old case. This family's connected. You can't just go around accusing people. It pissed me off, but I understood the weight of it. I could lose everything if I pushed too hard and couldn't prove it. Again, my job, my pension. The district didn't tolerate messes like this twice, and CPS didn't help. They visited, found nothing wrong. Diane knew how to smile for a clipboard. The file got closed as unfounded, but Elijah kept showing up worse than before. His energy was gone. He looked scared all the time. One day he showed me messages on his phone, Diane threatening him, telling him he'd regret ever talking. He had recordings too. I tried re-reporting, but CPS brushed it off. Not enough. I went to Grayson again, showed him the new stuff. He barely looked at it, said I needed to let it go. You've already crossed the line once, he said. Do it again, and you won't come back from it. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept thinking about Elijah. If something happened to him and I stayed silent, I'd never be able to live with myself. Then one night, during a storm, Elijah showed up at my office door, soaked, bruised, backpack on his shoulder. He didn't say much, just stood there, told me Diane had thrown him down the stairs and told him to never come back. I let him in, no second guessing this time. I documented everything, the bruises, the audio, got in touch with an old friend who was a child advocacy lawyer. We built the case that CPS hadn't. Grayson found out Elijah was staying with me and threatened to fire me. I told him he could go ahead. I wasn't backing down. If they wanted to make an example of me, fine, but I wasn't letting that kid go back there. The emergency hearing finally gave Elijah what he deserved. He went to live with his grandmother. Diane's whole act fell apart in court. Even Thomas admitted he was scared of her. I got written up, technically, but most of the faculty backed me. Even Grayson, quietly, told me I did the right thing. 2 years later, Elijah crossed that graduation stage. He spotted me in the crowd, smiled, and after the ceremony, he came over and said, "You're the reason I made it."